All right, guys, let's talk about what you need to do with this file I'm about to send you, which is the .abi file. It'll be called prunehill 2023.abi. So I'm sure that whatever computer situation you have at home is a little different, but what an ADI file is it is a file that contains all the information that you need to log, to enter a log digitally. So that app that you saw me using on my phone was doing all of that automatically. So there is a program called Fast Entry that you can get where you can create your own ADI file, but I'm going to send this ADI file to you, but you need to edit it. So I'll show you kind of what you do to edit this thing. So we're going to use, in my case, Xcode to edit this, but you could use Notepad++ or any other thing that, you've programmed in, because it'll open just like any text file would in a programming application. I mean, I suppose you could just edit it in Notepad, but I don't know why you would be a masochist that way. Let's just wait for Xcode to open my computer. Xcode takes a little bit of time because it's a fairly large IDE, but it's on my Mac and it's free. So there you go. Okay, here we go. So what you see here is a file that has, like many files, it's got a header right there. Tells you when it was generated, what's going on, its hammers, all that stuff. You don't need to worry about, don't do anything to the header. Each of these things right here, these are entries. And notice that there's a space between each entry. And if you get errors on the SOTA website, just know this ahead of time. When it says error line 5 or error line 6, it's referring to this entire entry. So SOTA's website will see this entire entry as one line. What you're looking for on this in order to edit this to make it work for you is look for this line in each entry where it says operator. In my case, it says KD7QOW. That's my call sign. So what you'll do is you just go into each of these entries and change the operator to your call sign. That's all you have to do. There's only 10 of them, so you should it'll take you less than a minute. It'll be really easy to do. And then you could just kind of, it's fun to sort of look at what's in these entries and what it's containing. And it's kind of cool. Like they've got, the band that you're on, their call sign, the county, that app I have automatically records your location through what's called a grid square. So this grid square is very, very specific. CN85PQ. It can get down to pretty much a single address. So grid squares are pretty awesome. They tell you people exactly where you are on the planet without having to have the complexity of GPS coordinates. So, and that helps the thing create a map of where everybody was at. All right, so cool. You'll go in, you'll edit this, and then save it. I'm going to trust that you kind of know how to do that as far as editing a file. Save the file with a new name or not, either way. Okay, once you have that file saved and changed, I don't need to change mine, obviously. Then you'll go to sotadata.org.uk. This assumes that you have already gone to sota.org.uk and you have registered an account. If you haven't registered an account with SOTA, you need to do that first. But go to sotadata.org.uk. And here's mine. Obviously, I'm doing quite a bit, so we have a lot of information here, a lot of statistics. Yours probably won't have anything in it yet because you're about to do your first log. Okay, go over to uploads. It's right here. And I'm going to go. Now, if you want to do your QSOs one at a time without doing an ADIF file, you can try it with add chase or QSO, but that's never it's tedious. Sorry, it would be add activation. You don't want to do that. It's tedious though, because you have to do them one at a time and it can lose your information. Go over to import ADIF, import ADIF, choose file. I go to my file, it's in my iCloud, ham radio, prunehill 2023.ADI, there's my ADI. Cool, click import, and then click verify log. It'll let you know if there's any problems, if it doesn't like something in the file, which it can be fairly finicky. It'll do that, submit log. It wants you to verify that you are not lying, like you did this really. And there we go. So it tells me now I have 120 activator points, 139 summit to summit points, 135 chaser points. We return 2 logs. And there you go. It gives you a whole bunch of information. One other thing that you need to do in order to be a polite activator is you need to keep logs somewhere. It's just a nice thing to do. Keep logs of all the contacts you may just make for like SOTA and HF especially. And if you guys are just rag chewing, like talking to each other on a repeater or anything, you don't need to log that, but you should keep a logbook. I use qrz.com. It's another place where you can create an account, and it keeps a digital logbook because I'm terrible at keeping my own logs. So I like to keep a digital logbook, and you can see it shows how many QSOs. QSOs are, a QSO is a contact with somebody, right? That's a two-way exchange. I've got there we go, a couple thousand that I've accumulated. These are all the ones that I uploaded from today's, and you do that by going over to import from ADI file. Same deal, right? You import an ADI file, and then then you just have a logbook, which is nice. It's just nice to have a log of all the contacts you've made. And you can go back there and you can be very proud. It's kind of cool. It tells you where, I've got a log with Japan on 15 meters, another Japan, Canada, New Zealand. I'm kind of proud of that one. New Zealand was hard to get. Anyhow, enough about me. That's what you need to do. Take that ADI file I gave you, edit it to have your own call sign in that operator line, and then upload it to sotadata.org.uk. So sotadata.org.uk is the website you're looking for. Email me back if you have any questions.